afternoon. I'm here Martin Sarge just asked me to do a product demonstration. This is what we do with every person we can. Once we've showed the plan, obviously you want to get into their kitchen. It builds relationships, but also you want to just show them how effective the products actually are. They need to actually see it in order to believe how brilliant the products actually are. Okay, to help me today is going to be Rachel. So I'm going to just get started with just the basics that I cover, and then we'll go along as we go along. I'll just show you extras and things like that you can add. Okay, the first product we demo is the dish drops. Okay, Rachel, you're going to have to come help me. So what I first explain to them is how to mix it. I suggest this bottle because you can have a plunger in here. But it's just easier because people are used to sort of a bottle like this that they used to pour. And what I do is I demonstrate first off how it creates a vacuum where you just simply hold it over and it'll actually automatically stop. Okay, so you can have two of those. Then I explain to the person how to mix it. Because I was a very brand loyal person, I wanted to see how effective it was versus the dish drops versus what I currently was using. I always recommend that you go up to the line here with water, and 1 to 4 is where the dish drops are. I also explain, I say, with this size you can wash up to 250 dishes. So if you can imagine, if you're putting water up and then dish drops from that point to that point, how long this is actually going to last. I talk about that. Okay, you ready, Marich? Okay, the first thing we're going to do is the demonstration here with the Brand X versus the dish drops. Okay, Reg, you have to come stand this side. Hold that. Okay, we're going to pour, I talk about this as Amway's extra virgin olive oil, and I go a little bit into the health aspects. So Reg, okay, today I'm just going to show you the products, okay, and how cost effective they are and how good they are. Okay, this is Amway's extra virgin olive oil. It is cold pressed. Okay, so if you're cooking and everything with normal extra virgin olive oil, this for you is going to be a very easy change to make over, okay, especially from the health aspect because it is cold pressed. Okay, so what we're going to do is for today's demonstrations, I'm just going to pour a little bit in the glass, don't put it in yet, okay, and I'm going to do this side. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you Brand X to do, and I'm going to use the dish, you're going to use the dish drops. So I'm just going to pour the dish drops onto the oil, a little bit like that, and I'm going to use Brand X. Now all I want you to do is you're going to mix it in with your finger to try and get the oil off the spoon. Okay? That's all you're going to do. So you're just going to try and get the oil off the spoon. Okay? Once that happens, you're just going to plonk it in the water like that. Plonk it in. Okay. Now already you can see, sorry, stand this up. Okay, now already you can actually see, if I just take those off, you can actually see the difference. Now we rubbed exactly the same. Can you see?
Yes.
Look at the water. How the water here, it's almost like the product has gone in the water. That is called biodegradable. Okay. And this you can see is non-biodegradable. Can you see it's like globules on the top? Can you see that? Okay, you can actually almost see the spoons. This one is kind of clean. Okay, this one needs extra work. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay, so it's very important now to go into the biodegradable side. Okay, especially because we have to consider our children. Okay, what the whole thing about biodegradable is, this accelerates growth. Okay, so what's happening in the rivers, it causes the vegetation to grow, which is shrinking our riverbanks. Okay, so at least you know now with this, when it goes down the pipes and everything, that you're actually protecting the environment.
Okay.
Okay, we have to start moving to this.
Okay.
Also, in terms of the saving, if you start using some of these, it's about 25 to about 30% less expensive than what you would buy if you were buying Brand X. That's even before you even build the business.
Okay.
Okay, so it does make sense for you to move over as a saving, but also from the biodegradable aspects.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, while we're talking, I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to put, this is the metal cleaner, okay, from Amway, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to just use 2 of these. Okay, while we're talking, we're going to just leave it there. Okay, now you may or may not use metal cleaner in your house. Okay, these are very nice for like under the pots and stuff like that. But the whole purpose of what I'm doing for you today is to show you how brilliant the products are. Okay, that is it, just to settle your mind that you know if you're going to swap over, that you're swapping for a superior product versus obviously all the same as what you're currently buying, except from the asset side of it. Okay, so we'll do that. All right, then the next one we're going to do is the powder. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do the washing powder. Okay, this here, if you see the size of the scoop here, okay, this is also biodegradable versus non-biodegradable. Now what happens with these, a lot of the products with brand X, okay, they use filler, which is predominantly cardboard. Okay, now this little tub here is equivalent to a 2 kilogram washing powder. Okay, now in terms of a cost effective, this is about 25 Rand. Okay, versus I don't know what you're currently spending, but the powder you're using is very expensive. Okay, and it's climbing. All right. Once again, you've got biodegradable versus non-biodegradable stuff. Okay. When you swap over to this, what I suggest you do is you run your machine first with the product with no closing, because you know that black that gathers in your machine. Yes. Okay. All of that is the gunk that's caused from your non-biodegradable stuff. Okay. So just to show you how it actually works, okay, I'm going to ask you to hold the spoon now. Okay, here you can actually see if you've got a front loader and it's about 5 kgs, you're only going to use one of these scoops. Okay, if you've got hand wash, then but everything is written on the side here. All right, but this is normally the size. You can't use more than this because the foam is going to come right outside the machine. Okay, so I'm going to give this to you. You're going to hold it there for me. Okay, hold it there. Spin it. Okay, and I'm going to use the brand X now. Now, how many of scoops would you normally put of this product in your machine? This one. This one you would use a lot more, but just for purposes for the demonstration, I'm just going to use that. Okay? Now, all I want you to do is you're going to slide it down the glass to the bottom very gently. Okay? And you're going to just let it sit in the glass. Slide it slowly. Go. Okay, now what you'll see here is eventually you're going to actually see this was like an effervescent. Did you see that? Come on down the way, Rachel. So can you see it's bubbling a lot? Okay, that means the product is actually doing the work and not the actual machine or your hands or whatever. So if you're going to use this for hand wash, you put it in with your clothes, you do whatever you need to do, you come back, and that will blast out the dirt in the product because it's got that like effervescent in it. Okay, did you see that? Yes. How it explodes. Okay, now look at this brand X here, this side. Can you see it just sit there? Okay, that's also because it's just like a dead product. It's got predominantly the filler, which is the cardboard, and it actually doesn't, yeah. Okay, now, to show you exactly also what we're going to do, you have to treat each product the same. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to stand this side. Okay, you're going to stir it 10 times and you're going to pour it in this side of the dishcloth. Okay, then you're going to stir this product 10 times and put it on the other side. Okay, 10 times. Ready? Go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, go. Pour it in here. Pour, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Perfect. Now we normally do this over a sink and then we squash. Okay? And then you're going to do exactly the same thing with this side. Ready? And go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, go. Pour, 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 go. Oh, put back. Okay, stir it again. Okay, that's typical exactly what happens now in your machine. It's all starch and whatever else. Okay, go. Okay, you can even see the residue in the glass. Okay. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to squash out the products exactly the same. Okay. And then we're going to lay it here. Now here, you'll be able to see how soft this SA8 is, okay, and how it just absorbs, okay. Feel how rock hard that is. Now that is predominantly filler, and filler is sort of cardboard and stuff like that. Now, some of the companies of brand X are now talking about putting more filler in weight the same. So when I'm buying my powder here, I'm buying true powder.
Okay.
It's powder. When you buy your brand X, you buy a little bit of powder and lots of cardboard or lots of filler.
Okay.
Okay. Now this, you can see here, this is what clogs up the pipes. So all that wax sits in that machine, and I mean you can see it's rock hard, because it's just like predominantly, it's not even powder.
Okay.
Okay. That's one. Okay, the next demonstration I'm going to do for you now is the fabric softener. Okay. So what the difference is here, Rachel, is brand X. Okay, you know when you're ironing, and you're ironing black pants, and you get that sort of like that
white marks.
Yeah, the white marks, and also you get that shimmer, like whatever. Okay, that is the plastic in the product. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate to you right now the difference as well. But this is really nice. Smell this. This is the Alpine. This is Rachel's favorite because it irons and it smells. Okay, so I'm going to show you brand X first off. Okay, we're going to pour it in, and you'll actually see how, can you see all that plastic? It almost like it globules. Okay, it's sort of got the ability to stick to itself. I'm even going to stir it just now. But what I want to demonstrate here is how beautiful that biodegradable product is. Can you see? It just goes into the water so nicely.
Yes.
I'll even use a spoon here. And even if we mix it twice, okay, there, and you can see here, there, you can still see this product. He's got the effects of that plastic. Can you see?
This one is already mixed.
And it's already mixed, yeah. So at least now you're knowing if you're ironing, you're not going to get that shimmer stuff. Okay, well while we're there now, what we're going to do is I'm going to just show you the extras. I'm going to take this off now. You see, so you don't actually have to talk for too long. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, don't worry. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, Bella. All right, so this is the metal cleaner. Okay, this you just physically wipe off, and you can actually clearly see how brilliant it is. Now, like I said to you, you may not use this, okay? But it's just to demonstrate how phenomenal the products actually are.
Okay.
Okay, there you can clearly see. I will do the other one as well. This is the 50 cents, okay? And you just wipe it off. This one is obviously not as clear as that one, but you can see how brilliant, how phenomenal the products actually are. Can you see? So that's really quite amazing. Okay. Some of the other products, do you use Goldilocks? You know that Goldilocks and whatever?
Yes.
This is called our scrub buds. Okay, this is a solid piece of stainless steel. And what we do is, it's actually I often ask if you've got stockings or if you've got something on, but we just take a stocking, and you can actually feel, this is a stocking and I'm rubbing it, so you take it and rub on here. Can you see how soft it actually is? So it doesn't damage anything in the pot. I mean, this is the stocking. Okay, so that's quite nice. Then we'll do the LOC just now. This is the toothpaste. I'm going to ask you just to taste a little bit. What's interesting about this, okay, there's different sizes, but this is really quite nice. Even my kids use it, so you know the kids can use it as well. Is you can taste a little bit there. Okay, the molecular structure in this is very interesting. This has got a round molecular structure, and all other brands have actually got a triangular molecular structure. And what that actually does is that chips teeth, whereas this is like a ball, so it's very gentle and just rubs over the teeth. Okay, so that's also quite good. And then what I often do for the kids is I bring a coffee, so we can have a nice chat and a nice relationship building. We can have some coffee or some tea. This is just the English breakfast tea, so we can have a quick coffee later. And while we're having a coffee, then maybe what we can also do is just give you a nice pamper. Obviously this is just another add after. In here is the hand wash, the exfoliator, and then the body butter, which is really nice. Okay, this you would use literally to build relationships and start connecting with that person. It's very important that if you're going to obviously phone for their orders and things like that, if they're not active quite yet, please don't just phone them at the end of the month and just get orders. Okay, you want to connect, you want to know when their children's birthdays are, you want to know if there's a family member that's sick. Be concerned, okay? It is a people's business. So this is really nice to now, if you start doing this, to really get to know them and intimately, you know, that you start knowing things that they would tell you and build that friendship, because obviously then you can phone and they will support you and give you an order, and it doesn't, obviously, yeah, they don't really mind. Okay, Martin, I'm going to ask you to. Last thing that I'm going to...
Okay.
The next thing I'm going to show you is the LOC. This is really like, it's liquid organic cleaner. Okay.
Yes.
You must also remember that the whole biodegradable stuff, Rachel, is really important, because you're using this stuff all the time. Okay. The children are walking on the floors, etc., etc. Now there's new terminology called toxic obesity. So while you're using non-biodegradable stuff, what happens is it gets absorbed into your skin and it sits in your liver. Okay. That is the onset of disease. So what we want to do is we want to start taking all the toxins out of the house. It's very important, especially if you've got children, because they're often walking on floors and things like that barefoot. Okay, so this is the liquid organic cleaner. This is really nice. You can wash your veggies in with it. You can put it in a bucket, clean your floors, clean your bathrooms, etc., etc. Okay, it also works quite nicely if you dilute quite a bit of it, and you put it in a spray bottle. And if you've got guests and stuff like that, you can spray it over, and it acts also like a fly repellent. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a permanent marker on a towel, and I'm just going to draw a little face. And the whole purpose of this is just to show you, and this does also work with Brand X, okay, but it's to show you that this product equals, except from the organic side, okay, so it works just as well. We pour one little spray of NOC, and then we just wipe off, and it just comes off very easily, like that. Okay, there's different other ways that we can also do this product demo. We can also put shoe polish on your hand. Yes. We also just put LOC there, and then we just rub it a little bit. We take the cloth and we literally, and it just wipes off. Okay, just in ending, what I normally do is I take a little box like this with all my products inside, obviously including Brand X, etc. I try and get into their house, because then you can actually see that they've got animals and dogs and pets and whatever, and often the kids are there, so you can start building a relationship with the children. But this is just a little bit of obviously what you can bring in. You can bring in rhodiola, the Fit H2O. The Fit H2O is really stunning, especially if they've got children, because it's not only for adults. If children are a little bit sick, I often bring it in to say, listen, why don't you give them a Fit H2O? It just helps them, instead of like an energy drink or one of those artificial drinks. But what I would recommend is those you would go for client specific. You would obviously know if they're sporty or if they've got children, etc., etc. But without fail, you want to try and see if you can do a product demo with at least every single household product that's been done here, because it's just to try and avoid this zero in the circle. You want them. Everybody uses this stuff anyway. So you want to be able to just replace, just redirect that shopping into their business so that they can start creating an asset. Thank you.